Welcome back to my book channel. My name is Lady Lauren Explorer, and today I was feeling a touch her and I'll kill you kind of vibe. So I've started to read and I finished it all in one day, and it's the Maggie Cole Mafia Wars saga. Well, not saga, series. And this one is Ruthless Stranger, and this is definitely a touch her and I'll kill you type of book when I tell you that. Guaranteed. But before we get into this review, how are you all? I hope you're doing really good. I have been on and off my reading schedule, and it's been since I finally hit my goal of reading 150 books in a year. I hit that a couple of days ago. I've been not reading novels. I've been reading fan fiction, and so I was like, okay, well, there's nothing to do today, so let me just go ahead and read a book instead of reading fan fiction. It's light outside, let me read it. So this was on my bed already because I thought I was going to read it as my 150 book, but I read something else instead, and that was kind of so. I didn't even do a video on it because I was really disappointed in the book. So quiet. But anyways, I hope you all are doing well, and let's just get into this review. But also, subscribe if you want to see more from me. Okay, so for the Mafia Wars, the first book I read in this series was the last book, the 10th book, because I think that one was over 500 pages and I wanted to read it too. And plus, they're all standalones, technically, because they tell you the stories of other people's story, the ending or the conclusion, through the story, just context clues. But I know that all the series is HEAs, and then all of the series are standalones, but you should read them together because they make more sense read all together. I didn't do that, so I read the 10th book, which is Relentless Hunter. That one was very tragic. It was very angsty, a lot of non-com, a lot of not the characters being together for a while because of certain things like being in prison and then being human trafficked. And yeah, it was a lot. I think I gave that book a 3 or a 4. Yeah, I gave it a 4. So I bought this one because I knew that this was a touch her and I'll kill you kind of vibe. I just hadn't picked it up since because I read that book in February. So reading it starts off as a night in Vegas. The city, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But this is our heroine. She is recently divorced from a man who has cheated on her, taken her money for 20 years, and it's over now. It's done. She can move on with her life. And her friends decided to take her to Vegas to celebrate her ending this travesty of a marriage. While they're there, the first day they're there, they're all talking about her getting her needs off. And if she decides, given a fantasy, hey, if a silver fox blindfolded you and it was just a one night of pleasure type of thing, would you do it? And she said, yeah, I would. It just so happens that our guy is also in Vegas for his brother's bachelor party, and he overhears them. He's getting off a 11-year on it and off again relationship where the woman just didn't want to commit. And he is in love with this woman and she's just playing a game and he's just finally done with it. So he overhears this conversation, looks at her and is like, I think I can do this. Like, I want to do this. And so he does. He makes it happen. And it was a great couple of chapters of them doing this one night that led into another night of passion. And throughout this whole entire 2 times of like they've been together for those nights, she asked to always take off the blindfold. And he says if she does take off the blindfold, they have to end it because he would be so consumed with wanting to have her that he would go through the ends of the earth to get her and have her in his life. That's commitment. That's obsessiveness that I love. I love that. So they don't do it, but it turns out that they are from the same city, Chicago, and they happen to meet again. And this time they both see each other and they know who the other one is, and he's not willing to let her go, and she's not willing to let him go. And it's just so good. It's just so good. I knew this was like a 4. I just love it. The vibes was in it. He's Russian. He has a beard. I couldn't help but fall in love with this book. So the touch her and I'll kill you kind of thing comes into play. Obviously, he's not technically a part of the Russian Mafia. He has ties to it, and he has done things for the Russian Mafia because of things in his past, which is talked about in the book. But he is also protecting her from her ex-husband, who is a coward. He's very pathetic. He is just a moocher. And some things happen in that regard with her and her ex-husband, and he comes to save the day. And we also meet a character that a couple that I just really think I want to like read their story. And their story is, I think, the 3rd book. It's called The Enforcer. And I think the first 4 or 5 books follow the brothers. Then you branch off to the other side of the Mafia wars, which is the Irish, who are now connected to the Russians because of a marriage. So yeah. Well, and also friendship, but they're tied together now because of a marriage. So then it goes into the Irish, because book 10 was following the Irish brothers, and I think there's like 6 or 7. And oh my gosh, there's a couple in there in that 10th book that, even though I know how it ends, like I want to see the beginning, but since I know how it ends, because it ends in death of one of them, I cried. Like I don't know any of those characters until the end of the book, when we're told what happened to one of the characters and what they left behind. And I was bawling my eyes out with like what they both had to go. I'm tearing up now. Like what they both had to go through, it was crazy. And I felt so bad for the love of their life, having to like go through that. And then it was, I don't want to read that book because I know I'm going to cry. So yeah. But besides the point. So the 3rd book is with Sergio. Not Sergio, Sergi. I think his name is Sergi. How you say it, Sergi. And our heroines. I think why do I keep saying her? I should just say her name. I forgot her name, and I just read this. Oh, Aspen. Yeah, Aspen. Aspen's friend who's a divorce attorney who divorced her and her husband. I think her name was Cora. And Cora has been like hintedly described as a Black woman. So I think I'm going to read that because there's not a lot of like Mafia books that are like really good that have a person of color as the main heroine. And so now that I've read 2 out of the 10 books in the series, I know that the series is probably going to be good. And so her book should also be good. And he's also the enforcer, the Sergi. He's also the youngest brother. And she's also way older than him. So she calls herself the cougar. Yeah, so I think there is a 10 or 12 age difference. And I want to read it. But yes, so this is a 4-star for me. I definitely liked it. The steam was really good. The action was really good. And the touch her and I'll kill you vibes were superb. Superb. And I think you all will enjoy it as well. If you haven't read this book, this is the first in the series anyway. So you start off with this couple and then you see the other couples as they go on. And then some couples will come in until like book 7 or 8. Like the couple, the O'Mallory's, who are the Irish, that couple, I don't think we see them for a minute, like as their own book, or it's just his brothers in the later series. But beside the point, this book is great, and you definitely need to read it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. I am I'm trying to finish either like a couple of my duets that I started and like last year or even the beginning of this year, get them like finished so I can like let that be done. Because I have so many series. I either started so many series, which means I have them and I have like the first couple of books. I just haven't read any of them. And then I have like standalones that are just one and dones. And I need to finish the Addicted series, which has so many books. And I think I'm on the 3rd book. So I need to finish that. I just need to finish some series so I can call it a day for my own peace of mind. But yes, so I will see you all in my next video. My name is Lady Lauren Explorer, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye!